Okay, let's start. So I think you can see this thing. Okay. So now let's see. So now the question is, we can connect, why we are going to the two different cases, that with link reading and without link. There is a difference actually. We want to investigate it. See what happens.
Right.
If, bolo, anything to say? Anything? Any question? No. Let's see. Actually, what happens? Pressure coil and current coil, if there is a, they are guided by a deflecting torque. Okay, we already know the principle of operation in electrodynamo type instrument. Now, if the pressure coil voltage and current coil voltage are widely different, then there is a potential difference or voltage difference coming between them. These voltage difference will generate some, it will have some, establish some capacitive coupling between the pressure coil and the current coil, and some electrostatic force will come due to the potential difference. Pressure coil is having hundreds of volt and current coil is having very small voltage. So there is a large potential difference between pressure coil and current coil. So some electrostatic force will come between this pressure coil and current coil. Okay, and that will act either against the deflecting torque or along the deflecting torque, in the direction of deflecting torque. So it means what? Our deflecting torque will be either reduced or it will be enhanced. So depending on the direction. So ultimately, the original deflecting torque is not available because of the newly generated electrostatic force. So our instrument reading in angular deflection of the instrument is no longer proportional to the product of the two currents. They are not related directly that way, or the angular deflection is not related to that coil currents directly. So what we want? We want that the electrostatic force should not come, or electrostatic torque should not come. Only the deflecting torque that arises due to the two coil currents exists in the setup. So how to remove the electrostatic torque? The only one method is that if we remove the voltage difference, potential difference of the two pressure coil, okay, then the two pressure coil will be equipotential. Okay, it will be at same voltage, so there will be no voltage difference. So electrostatic force or torque will be zero. Only the deflecting torque will come into act. So that's how we are setting the link. Okay. Now sometimes it may happen that with link you get one error, but in without link the error may be reduced. In some cases, it is because the electrostatic torque acts in such a direction with respect to the deflecting torque, the original error is somehow compensated. It works in such a direction. Sometimes it is compensated, sometimes the error is more. Sometimes it is, the error is reduced, sometimes the error is less, depending on the relative deflection direction of the two torques. That's why we should not rely on the performance of this electrostatic torque, and the instrument response may not be linearly related with the product of two coil currents. That is the most important thing. Instrument deflection will not be linearly related with the product of two coil currents. That's why you want to remove the potential difference between the two coil. How? By connecting a link. By connecting a link, then the two coils will come at the same potential. So there will be two arrangement, with link and without link. Clear? Any doubt? Any
Yes.
question? I expect one question from you. Let's see who asked this thing. My answer is very much incomplete. The incomplete answer, why it is incomplete? Because when we connect a link between one side of the pressure coil and current coil, these two sides will be at same potential, same voltage. True. But what's about the other side? For a current coil, say just I am talking about. So for a current coil, what is the voltage drop across current coil? When a 5 ampere flows, maybe the voltage drop across the current coil is only 10 millivolt or 1 millivolt. So the other side of the current coil is how much voltage? It is of the order of only 1 millivolt or 10 millivolt higher, okay, or lower than this particular other node of the current coil. So there is a that particular thing. But what's about the pressure coil? When we see here, say what is the in the pressure coil, actually you are applying 100 volt, say here. Then other side of the pressure coil will have a voltage of how much? 100 volt. So other side of the pressure current coil takes has a voltage reading of some millivolt, but other side of the pressure coil is having a voltage of few hundred volt. Here 100 volt. So again, the other side of the other nodes of the two coils are again widely different. Widely different. Widely different. Isn't it? So again, some electrostatic force or torque will come, a capacitive coupling will be there dynamically. So some error will come again. So what is the option? The option is we can connect a link in the lower two nodes also. If we connect the lower two link, but the problem will be a closed circuit will be established between pressure coil and current coil. A large circulating current will flow between the two, and the current coil will short the terminal. Heavy current will flow, and the current coil circuit will be completely burnt out, damaged. Then what to do? We cannot connect a link in the other side. Actually, we need not connect any link on the other side. When we connect a link in one side, automatically the other side of the two coils will be at more or less at the same potential. The other side of the two coils will be more or less at the same potential. Can you explain this thing? How it is possible? I want to give you just 1 minute time to answer this question. That if we connect a link here, two nodes will be at same potential, but surprisingly, the other two nodes will also be at the same potential. More or less at the same potential, very closely at the same potential. How and why? Just you think. I take a 1 minute break. You think. I am already in line, but I stop and you tell me the answer. Just I am one after 1 minute I am coming. Now I am back. Any answer? হ্যালো, শুনতে পাচ্ছ আমার কথা নাকি?
হ্যাঁ
হ্যালো,
স্যার শুনতে
Yes, sir.
পাচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ, কোনো আনসার কি বেরোলো নাকি বেরোয়নি? বেরোয়নি। লেটস সি দেন।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বলছিলাম স্যার লিঙ্কটা দিয়েই নিচের হচ্ছে ওই V1 টা হয়ে V2 হয়ে
না,
ওপরের
V1
সার্কিটটা
V2
হয়ে
সাইডে আমরা কিছু করতে পারবো না, কারণ পোটেনশিওমিটার লো ভোল্টেজে অপারেট করে, it operates in the low voltage. So we are stepping down V1 in the ratio of 100:1. So 100 volt means V1 will be 1 volt. And V2 also is very small because a low resistance 0.1 ohm is there. So we cannot do anything in the V1 and V2. But we want to remove the potential difference between the two coils in the other side also. Okay, I am giving you the answer. See, so we know in the current coil side, this other node, this node is having a voltage around few millivolt higher or lower compared to this node, the link node voltage. Okay. Now what's about the pressure coil? Actually, a pressure coil is a coil of large number of turns. So a few hundreds of turns are there in the pressure coil. There, it is having some large resistance. But to reduce the current of the pressure coil further to a very small value, you know, pressure coil is a moving coil. So you want to reduce the current of the moving coil always. So how we reduce? We insert a high valued series resistance in the pressure coil, and that series resistance is so high compared to the resistance of the pressure coil that most of the voltage will be dropped across the externally added series resistance. Most of the voltage will be dropped across the externally added series voltage. So it means what? So what is the voltage drop across the internal pressure coil? Actually, the voltage drop across the internal pressure coil is only, again, not more than 1 volt, much smaller than this, also in the range of millivolt. So it means what? The other side of the pressure coil does not mean the other side of the externally added resistance. No, it is not this side. It is the side in between pressure coil and resistance. The other side of the pressure coil means it is the node between pressure coil and the externally added resistance. So this voltage is therefore very small and is quite closer to the voltage of current coil in the other side. So it means what? When we add a link here, the voltage in the other side will also be, the voltage difference in the other side of the pressure coil and current coil will also be negligibly small, quite small. So ultimately, there will be no electrostatic force or torque present in that arrangement. Get my answer? Clear? Or any doubt? If you have any doubt, ask me. I'll tell you again in another way. কারো বুঝতে না হলে না পারলে আমাকে
বাট স্যার যে
সরাসরি
রেজিস্ট্যান্সের আগে তো স্যার যে ভোল্টেজটা হচ্ছে ওই ড্রপ করছে না, মানে ওই রেজিস্ট্যান্সটা আমরা ইউজ করছি তো হচ্ছে, মানে স্যার যে কারেন্টটা লো করার জন্য, মানে কারেন্টটা লো করার জন্য জাস্ট ইউজ করছি। আচ্ছা 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 আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে ঠিক
আমরা
আছে।
আমরা এই যে যত ওয়াট মিটার তোমরা দেখো, সমস্ত ওয়াট মিটারেই কিন্তু প্রেসার কয়েলের সঙ্গে একটা এক্সট্রা রেজিস্ট্যান্স অ্যাড করা থাকে, কিন্তু সেই রেজিস্ট্যান্সটাকে আমরা দেখতে পাই না, ভেতরে থাকে বলে। কিন্তু এটা আমরা মুখে বলছি এক্সটার্নালি অ্যাডেড রেজিস্ট্যান্স, কথাটা হয়তো সে অর্থে ঠিক নয়। ওটা এক্সটার্নালি অ্যাডেড হলেও ইনস্ট্রুমেন্টের ভেতরেই থাকে। Although we are saying that it is an externally added resistance, it still remains inside the arrangement box of the instrument. So most of the voltage will be dropped in the that particular resistance. So the coil voltage, actual coil voltage is quite small. তাহলে কয়েলের ভোল্টেজ যদি কম হয়, ভোল্টেজ ড্রপ, তাহলে কয়েলের অন্য দিকের ভোল্টেজ আর কারেন্ট কয়েলের প্রেসার কয়েলের অন্য দিকের ভোল্টেজ আর কারেন্ট
এগুলো
কয়েলের
তাহলে হচ্ছে অলমোস্ট তাহলে সেম হবে।
মোর অর লেস সেম, এক্স্যাক্টলি সেম আমি বলছি না, কিন্তু মোর অর লেস সেম থাকবে। ফলে আমাদের পারপাস সাফ করে গেল। গেট মাই পয়েন্ট? এনি ডাউট? কারো কোনো, আমি আবারও বলছি, সবসময় বলার, অসুবিধা থাকলে আমাকে বারবার ইন্টারাপ্ট করবে, জিজ্ঞেস করবে। আমি কিন্তু একদম বিরক্ত হই না, আমার কাজই হচ্ছে তোমাদের বোঝাবার চেষ্টা করা, আমার সাধ্য মতো আমি করবো যেটা। ঠিক আছে, ক্লিয়ার? ওকে, তাহলে এইটা হচ্ছে আমাদের অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্ট। তাহলে এবারে আমাদের এক্সপেরিমেন্টে যখন আমি করব, লেটস সি দা প্রসিডিওর অফ দ্য এক্সপেরিমেন্ট। এক্সপেরিমেন্টে আমরা প্রথমে কি করব, ওয়াট মিটারটাকে এই সরি পোটেনশিওমিটারে আমরা এই ওটাকে স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজ মোডে, ব্রিং দ্য পোটেনশিওমিটার ইন দ্য স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজেশন মোড, connect the first connect the standard cell, then bring the potentiometer in the standardization mode. Vary the knob in the standardization mode, vary the knob for coarse adjustment and fine adjustment. Effectively, this is equivalently the variation of varying the rheostat, internal rheostat. So the net applied voltage inside the slide wire will change in such variation. And when our galvanometer reading is at null, then it means that our potentiometer input voltage inside the slide wire is exactly equal to the standard cell voltage. Okay. Now we keep that standardization. After standardization, we wait for, first we connect the standard cell, then we wait for 15 to 20 minutes. Why? To stabilize the temperature of the environment. Then we start standardization, bring the knob into the standardization mode, vary the coarse rheostat and fine rheostat, and observe the null point of the galvanometer. And once we get the null point, it means the potentiometer is standardized. Now we vary the knob to the test mode. Once we vary the knob in the test mode, then we measure, take the selector switch in the one position, then connect V1, apply V1 and check the null point of the galvanometer by varying the slide wire. By varying the slide wire, we consider the null point. When we find that the galvanometer deflects in opposite direction in the two consecutive position of the slide wire, then it means that our null point exists in between that two consecutive position. তার মানে স্লাইড ওয়ারের একটা পজিশনে গ্যালভানোমিটার যেদিকে ডিফ্লেক্ট করছে, স্লাইড ওয়ার এই জকিটা মুভ করালে, ওয়াইপারটা মুভ করালে, যদি দেখি যে গ্যালভানোমিটারটা অন্যদিকে মুভ করছে, তাহলে বুঝতে হবে যখন ডিরেকশন চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাচ্ছে, তার মানে হচ্ছে গ্যালভানোমিটারের নাল পয়েন্টটা দুটো অপোজিট পয়েন্টের মাঝখানে আছে। তখন আমরা ফাইন টিউনিং করে অ্যাডজাস্টমেন্ট করে আমরা এক্সাক্ট নাল পয়েন্টটা দেখব। নাল পয়েন্ট এসে গেলে গ্যালভানোমিটারের ডিফ্লেকশনটা জিরো হয়। V2 এর ক্ষেত্রেও তাই, selector switch when it is brought to the point position 2, we apply V2 and identify for which two position of the slide wire galvanometer deflection is in the opposite direction. Then our slide wire will be in the at some middle point, not exactly middle point, some inner point between the two extreme positions, and then galvanometer will show no deflection. But now one more thing I should say in this correction, that we don't know whether we standardize or measure V1 or V2. Initially what happens, we don't know whether the galvanometer will be at null or not during the standardization and measurement. So if the applied voltage is becoming heavily different from the internal potentiometer voltage, then the galvanometer will deflect heavily. A high current may flow through the galvanometer. That will actually, what it will be there, the galvanometer may be damaged because initially it is not at null and we don't know what is the null point. So for such protection, what happens, a push button like arrangement is placed in series with the galvanometer. A push button like arrangement is placed in series with the galvanometer. When we push the button, then galvanometer comes in the circuit, then it deflects. Just momentarily it will deflect. And again, when we withdraw the push button, no deflection. So just press, unpress, press, unpress, this way. So just it saves the galvanometer from carrying high current, momentary high current. Okay. And if the current is high momentarily, there will be no damage of the galvanometer because it is a momentarily available, momentarily generated high current. So there will be no problem. But where ultimately just by repeated press and unpress, press and unpress, when we find that the galvanometer does not deflect at all, means there is no difference between pressing and unpressing, pressing and unpressing, no difference at all between the two consecutive configuration. It means that that is the null condition. That is the null condition. So pressing a switch when it does not cause any change in the galvanometer position, it means our null point has arrived. Clear? So that is this particular. Now I shall show you the video, but before that, let me show you what will be the our reading and all such things. So initially we connect the standard cell, wait for 15 to 20 minutes. After bringing to the standardization mode, wait for 15 to 20 minutes. Then we go to the test mode, keep the selector switch in position 1 to then measure V1 by observing null point of the galvanometer with repeated press and unpress. Then we keep the selector switch to the position 2, then measure V2 just by varying, okay, slider position and observing galvanometer with repeated press and unpress. And then we go for some calculation, and that happens for every reading of the wattmeter. So we change the current coil current by varying the rheostat RH1. So accordingly, the ammeter reading will be changed. So we set the rheostat value so that the wattmeter will be initially at 0 value, at 0 watt, then 20 watt, then 40 watt, 60, 80, and 100 watt. Only up to 100 watt will carry the full scale reading of the wattmeter is 100 watt that we use in our experiment. So 0 to 100 watt in step of 20 watt. So that's how we will vary the current coil current, just by varying rheostat and just by observing the ammeter current. But the pressure coil voltage will be initially fixed at 100 volt, and that will remain 100 volt throughout the experiment. There. And so for every reading, that is for 20 watt, we will connect the link, then measure V1 and V2. We need not standardize every time. In the very beginning, our standardization will be only once to set the working current. But once it is fixed, it will be now all through the test mode. No standardization mode at all for rest of the time in that particular day. Okay. So now we will insert the link. So our reading will be with link. We will measure V1 and V2 with link, can calculate the error. That is the difference between the wattmeter reading and the potentiometer reading after calculation. Then we remove the link. So without link for 20 watt. Again for 40 watt, we change the rheostat, bring it to the 40 watt. Then with link and without link, we measure V1 and V2 and find out the error. Again we change the rheostat and set the wattmeter to show 60 watt, 20, 40, 60 this way. And again with link and without link. This way up to 100 watt it will be. Every reading will be with link and without link. And finally there will be two sets of error for every reading. One error will be for with link, another error will be for without link. Okay, and there will be a graph in the y-axis error, in the x-axis instrument reading 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and in the y-axis it will be the error, percentage error. So let's see then what will be the experimental sheet, all such things. So that is the process actually what I told you. So initially what happens, some typical values are given. Voltmeter reading is for all the run 100 watt, and first our we vary the rheostat RH1, and the ammeter reading will be say 0.2 ammeter reading. So there is a mistake, I think. Ammeter reading should be actually not, it is V, it should be A. So it should be A actually. It should be A. Okay. Yes. So these are also ultimately it is 0.2 into 100. 20 watt is the ammeter reading. We are setting, this is the ammeter reading. So we are bringing it. Then what happens? Our output voltage V1 in the potentiometer. The potentiometer, the galvanometer shows a null when potentiometer shows from the slide where 1.0026 volt. So we multiply it with 100. We'll do it later to get actual pressure coil voltage. Then we measure V2. That is the voltage in the current coil circuit across 0.1 ohm. R1 is here. Say this is our R1 0.1, this one. So that is the voltage. So that is the voltage. Now if we divide it by 0.1, we'll get the current coil current. then these two will be multiplied. So every reading for 20 watt, one reading will be without link for V1 and V2, another will be with link, again without link, with link. So two sets of reading. So that's why there are double entries, 20 20, 40 40, 60 60, these way. We'll do the experiment. Clear? Now once we know how to calculate it. So WT is V1 into V2 by R1. Actually this is not, it should be actually 100 into V1. It should be actually 100 into V1, because 100 volt is the what it, again there is a mistake. So I'll change it. So I write it. So 100. Okay, just 1 minute.
V1 এর সাথে 100
So it is 100 into V1 and V2. Okay, that is it. So that is the wattmeter reading. Just as and then how we calculate the error? There will be another table, next table. So for every serial number, we know the volt box. Volt box means what? It is the potential divider arrangement. A box is there whose task is to step down the voltage from 100 volt to 1 volt in the ratio of 100:1. So that is the volt box we call it. So in the figure actually our volt box. So this is our volt box, which is used to step down voltage. Okay, now I go down. So now what happens? So once we get V1, that will be multiplied with 100. That is this thing. And for V2, we get the current. So V2 by R1 and 1 ohm. Now one very advantage is that since our V2, R1 is 0.1 ohm, so V2 by 0.1, actually our decimal will be shifted just
0.1.
So 0.01 will be 0.1.
Yes, sir.
You are right. 0.04 will divided by 0.1 will be 0.4. So just one shift. So that is this there. That is the just one place is there. But actually, while carrying experiment, the selector switch, when it's pressed in position 2, there is another knob also, which is the multiplying factor knob. We keep the multiplying factor into 0.1 position. Then what is the advantage? The reading that we get into 0.1 divided by 0.1. So 0.1 will be directly cancelled. Directly. So our reading will be directly coming. But that is not shown in the table actually. That is not shown in the table. So whatever reading we are getting, that divided by 0.1 or one place shift in the decimal right position. So that is given. So it is 0.1, 0.4 or something is the current. So wattmeter reading will be what? Is the multiplication of the two things. You multiply, you get that. And wattmeter reading, the reading observed reading is 20 watt, but actual reading is 16.14. It is in without link. So error is what? Our error is so 20 minus 16.14 by 20 by wattmeter. So it's given here. Error is W0, that is the observed reading, minus WT by full scale reading of wattmeter. Full scale reading is 100 watt. So it's expressed in terms of full scale by 100. 100 watt is the full scale reading into 100. So ultimately W0 minus WT will be same as the percentage. So their difference will be 3.86. That is the difference and percentage, they are coming same. So this way we can calculate the whole thing. Yeah. Now once our calculation is complete, we have to draw a calibration curve. Calibration curve means in the y-axis percentage error and in the x-axis wattmeter reading. Wattmeter reading means this table 20, 40, 60. Okay. That table. So there will be two curves, one for with link, another for without link. And note that our graph must start from 0, because initially when no supply is given, our wattmeter pointer should start with 0 position. Otherwise, we will say that there is some offset error. So in the calibration curve, that is an important thing. Don't forget to give the reading in the 0, 0 position. 0, 0 position. So reading 0, error 0. That will be the 0, 0 origin. From origin, it should start. Now all the points should join. So the plot should start from the origin. It's given here. See, the plot should start from the origin. And adjacent points should be joined by straight lines. Why straight line? Since we don't know the pattern of errors, so which curve should we select to join the point? So this is not defined. Therefore, the two experimentally obtained point will be joined by straight line. It means that we have performed the experiment at the two corners of the straight line. We have performed the experiment at the two corners of the straight line. In any other result along the straight line is not guaranteed. Any other result along the straight line is not guaranteed. Our manufacturers are also giving us a calibration curve, and these calibration curves are always with piecewise linear model. That is that they are joining them with straight line, segmented straight line. These are not a smooth curve because errors cannot have any trend. Errors cannot have any trend. No particular graph can be used to fit them. So always calibration curve will be used with the use of joining with straight lines. The use of straight lines. So that is the particular thing. Clear? Any doubt here? Okay. Any question in the understanding of the experiment? Now two things remaining. Actually, three things still remaining. One is the video. I will show you at the end. Next one is how to write the report. What is the format of writing report? And third thing is where to send the report, in which email ID or anything, what will be the deadline, what will be the format of the file, name of the file, tell you one by one. Now consider, don't worry, I shall give you this particular material, that is the instruction sheet, and I shall give you one more sheet. This is the format of report. How to write your report on experiments on of electrical engineering laboratory. That is in measurement laboratories. Here is the answer. So first page should contain your name, class, year, all such things. And subject will be experiment on electrical engineering laboratory. All such and these. Second page will be title of experiment. What is the title of experiment? It is given in the other material. Calibration of wattmeter with DC potentiometer. So calibration of wattmeter with DC potentiometer. Then what is the object of the experiment in the second page? Object is also given in the other sheet, instruction sheet. To calibrate a dynamometer type wattmeter with DC potentiometer. Here, that is object. Then circuit diagram must draw in pen, not in pencil. Then third page will be what? It is the apparatus list. Which apparatus you are using? Ammeter, potentiometer, galvanometer, okay, volt box, supply voltage, all such things that you are getting. Then how much quantity you are using? Say ammeter, quantity 2. So what we are getting? Just 1 minute. How do you get quantity 2? From the circuit diagram we get quantity 2. So 1 ammeter here, and any other ammeter? No, in that case, no, only 1 ammeter. But I have written 2 because of a particular reason. If we use 2 ammeter, just consider, say 2 ammeters may have different range. Use the range. Okay, now it may have 2 ammeter. Now which range you use? If you use 0 to 2.5 ampere, put a tick on 2.5. If you use 0 to 5 ampere, put a tick on 5. If you take 0 to 10 ampere, put a tick on 10 this way. But if it is a single range ammeter, you need not put any tick because you are using that range. Then maker's name, if you know, if it is found, no problem then. Otherwise, skip this thing. Maker's number, you can skip it because right now you don't know this thing. You cannot see the instrument physically. Okay. So just keep the column and just, but you need not write anything there. Don't try to write anything from your mind, from your imagination.
রেঞ্জের রিডিং গুলো তো স্যার পাবো না সব
না,
ইনস্ট্রুমেন্ট।
রেঞ্জ রেটিং যদি না পাও তাহলে তুমি লিখবে না, তোমার শুধু শুধু লেখার যেটা তুমি ধারণায় পাচ্ছ সেটুকু লিখবে। ধরো তুমি জানো যে কারেন্ট কয়েলটা 5 অ্যাম্পিয়ার অবধি দেওয়া হচ্ছে, সেটা তুমি ভিডিও দেখে বুঝতে পারবে, আমিও বলে দিলাম।
ও
দেন ইউ
আচ্ছা
রাইট
আচ্ছা
0 to 5 অ্যাম্পিয়ার, তখন শুধু এইটুকুই লেখো 0 to 5 অ্যাম্পিয়ার।
ওকে স্যার।
এবার মাল্টি
তাহলে
রেঞ্জ ইউজ করেছি কি করিনি সেটা তো আর কি করে হবে, মেকার্স নেম তো আমরা জানি না, ওটা দরকার নেই, মেকার্স নাম্বারের তো প্রশ্নই নেই। এইভাবে থার্ড পেজে অ্যাপারেটাস লিস্ট হবে। ফোর্থ পেজে কি হবে, এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করে যে রেজাল্টটা পেয়েছো, তার মানে এখানে তোমার সেই এক্সপেরিমেন্টাল রেজাল্ট দেওয়াই আছে, এই টেবিলটাই তোমার আবার লিখতে হবে। অল দ্য থিংস শুড বি হ্যান্ড রিটেন। আমি কোনো সফট কপি কিন্তু অ্যাকসেপ্ট করব না, I will not accept any soft copy. Everything should be handwritten. You can draw the table with scale, pen and paper, all such things, but clearly you have to draw, neatly you have to draw, okay, with enough care, obviously. Untidy work is very much discouraged. So now you can just write this. This is the table for the experimental result. You have to write the entire thing in the experimental result. Okay. So this one, this is the up to this is your experimental result. Clear? So you have done it. Next, then after on the next page you are writing experimental result. Then what you will do? Then a fresh page will be there. It will be experimental report, means it may contain a table that will be the follow-up of the previous table. What is that? So your table will be this one, just I'm showing you. The second table will come in the experimental report. So this one. So this second table. So that is the second table will be in your experimental report, because you have done it. It is the table. You have not done it in the laboratory. You are supposed to do it in your home, at your home. So you are doing it later. So that will come in the experimental report. And the formula you use, you have to write it here. But don't use the term compare, compute, no, because you are not instructing anybody to do. You simply write what we are reading, WT equal to this. That's all. Don't write compare, compute, illustrate, describe, because you are not instructing anybody. তুমি কাউকে ইনস্ট্রাক্ট করছো না, ওই জন্য কম্পেয়ার, কম্পিউট এগুলো তোমাদের জন্য লেখা। তাহলে ফর্মুলাটা লিখবে, ওপরেও লিখতে পারো, নিচেও টেবিলের নিচেও লিখতে পারো। You can write it on top or below the table, no problem. Okay, but it should come under experimental report. Okay, and percentage error, that formula also you should write at the bottom, okay, of the table. Then it is coming in the experimental report. After that, the formula used also I told you. Then you have to write next sample calculation. Just in the sample calculation, write the formula used, explain the meaning of the symbols of parameter in the formula, and take any particular serial number, just arbitrary. Say, as an example, take serial number 5. So using the reading of serial number 5, we get, okay, we get V equal to 100.22, current coil current I equal to 0.4436 ampere. Okay, what we are reading, then W2 equal to this into this by that, using formula such. So just you have to show only one sample calculation. Don't think that you have to show calculation for all the reading 10 and the serial number. No, not at all. Please remember, show